Hi Guy, I've been asked this question a fair few times over the last couple of years, but I've never really done a video on it beyond the odd comment. Simple question really is, what was your first video game console? Now, for me, it would have been, I think it was 1987. Yes, I am that old. Possibly 1988, around about that time. But it was a Sega Master System. Now, at the time, I had no experience really beyond ever playing like a Atari 2600 round a neighbour's house. And even then, I'd only slightly dabbled and stuff. And up until this point, I'd been involved. It'd been computers all the way, because in the UK, that was the big push at the time. And to suddenly get this whole console system, it was a Christmas present after all, and it come with several games. One of which is one of my all-time favourite retro games, is Enduro Racer. A bit of a funny one, I'm sure. Hang On, that was the I had the older Master System console, so it was the nice one with the sharp corners on, which you could probably cut yourself on if you if you hit somebody with it hard enough. And for a Christmas present, it absolutely blew me away. I mean, I'd see my friends had like the Nintendo Entertainment System. Now on that Christmas, it was, and I wasn't, I would say 100% spoiled, but I was quite lucky in the sense that if I pestered throughout the year, I would often get good stuff for Christmas. And my parents weren't like mega rich or anything ridiculous like that. And I'd spent probably a good 8 or 9 months pestering for a Nintendo Entertainment System. Now, at the time, when I come down I remember on Christmas morning, I was really, really excited. It's like, oh my God, I'm getting a console. I know there's got to be a console, and I could see like the presents. I can still remember this clear as day in my mind. And anyway, so it was Saturday. I ripped it open, and I was a kid, I was about 8, maybe 9 years old, but I was really disappointed because I was sat looking at it. I'm like, I didn't say it obviously because I wasn't a lunatic, but you're looking at it and you think, oh, that's not a NES. But I found out a few years later that me poor parents had spent 2.5 months going to pretty much every shop known to man trying to find an NES, and they just could not find one anywhere. I think it was a Turtle Pack at the time, that was it, because that's what I was really into, and everyone was crazy about it at school and everything. And I didn't know anything about the Master System. And but the thing is, when I plugged that thing in, it just blew me away. I mean, you compare the two systems side by side, just forget about the games for a minute. But the Master System is clearly the better console. It looks better, it's got better graphics. The controller is no way near as good. But as a competitor and as a system to own at the time, it was actually really, really good. You had a good range of like these really, really cheap games, the card games. I mean, like Enduro Race, I think that was about £10 or £15 in the shops at the time. And this is back when like the average cassette game was like £2 or £3 for a budget title, and then a tenner for one of the bigger ones. So to get something like that, and then to have access to a good range of cheap games, they weren't the best, obviously. But over time, you could amass a pretty good collection. Now, I never really had much money because at that age, and my parents didn't have any to give. I was getting like £1 a week spending money. So this is how long ago it was. I mean, that's nothing these days. And I would save up for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks, and then I'd go and buy a game. And a couple that stuck out in my mind from back then. I mean, I was incredibly lucky because there was a Toys R Us a couple of towns over, and usually what would happen is me dad would be driving around, and he'd just when I had some money, and I'd go along with him, and we'd like pop over. It was Stockpot at the time, and pick stuff up. And the thing is, it was a bit like buying cassette games at the time. You had no idea what you were going to end up with, and you'd be in this shop and you'd be poring over the. I mean, for those who haven't seen it, Toys R Us at the time, they'd just put up like a picture of the cover and then the back behind like this plastic screen, and then you could pull a card off. Oh yeah, it was like a weird mix. I'm really scraping the memory barrel there. But so anyway, so I'd go in the shop and spend forever because these games, it was like £30 at the time. They're absolute fortune, and you got one, and you had to be confident that it was a good game. And one game I picked just at random was Wonder Boy 3, The Dragon's Trap. Now, my God, I mean, I remember I've spent probably a good 25 minutes in the shop. My parents were getting very annoyed at the time. It was taking too long. But I pored over it and looked at all the others. I think that and Psycho Fox at the time really appealed to me looks-wise. And then I thought, well, I like the sound of this Dragon Trap, and the guy's got a sword on the cover, so I'm going to go with that. That was my entire gamble. And it turned out to be, completely by chance, it's probably the best Master System game that was ever released, and I just picked it pretty much by chance. And, I fully completed it and I would play it to death. I absolutely loved that game as a kid. And as the years went on, I got a bit more money and stuff. I'd buy some other games. And I eventually went back and bought Psycho Fox. And I was dreadfully disappointed with it at the time. It was people loved that game. I did a video of it a while back. And I just... It's terrible. Even going back to years and years later, I'm better prepared, I think, for platformers to that degree. But it was just, for me, it was a terrible game, and people really liked it. But yeah, it was a bit hit and miss. I had many fond memories of that Master System. I don't know why Enduro Racer stands out as my all-time favourite game. Yes, there was better games than it, but it's just the music is so good. It was so addictive. I would play it to death. I'd spend hours upon hours playing this thing, and I absolutely loved it. I'd highly recommend it to anybody. But if you can, go and get the Japanese version. I'm assuming you'd be probably playing a ROM, just because they added there's like 5 extra tracks, because in order to fit it on a budget cart, they had to cut a load of stuff out to save on space. So I had no idea of this when I was a kid. And it was not like there was a premium edition as a normal full price game or anything. So I really lost out on that. And the amount of time I'd played that game. So if I'd have known at the time that there was a Japanese version, I'd have done whatever it takes to get one. But anyway, yeah. I mean, over to you guys. I mean, what was your first console? Have you got any interesting stories about it? I mean, did everybody just start straight into console gaming, or did you start in computers beforehand? Let me know in the comments below. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and please look forward to another video soon.